Hi friends, hope you're whelmed. Today we're looking at 4 indie games to play instead of Tales of the Shire. Well, it's actually more than 4. I added some honorary mentions to the video as well, so make sure you stay until the very end. If you were expecting a completely different video today, I was too. Seriously, I didn't ever expect to make anything even tenuously related to Tales of the Shire on this channel, especially after seeing that article by Jackson Ryan. The one detailing just how terrible the making of process was for people who tried to pour their heart and soul into making a Hobbit life sim, but found only strife in return. One employee even referred to the game's codebase as, quote, a pile of dog, and well, the reviews from both critics and players alike pretty much confirm it. I really recommend reading the article in full, so I linked it in the description. Ryan did an excellent job with the piece, and his style is both conversational and fluid. Sorry, I'm getting back to the actual point of this video now, I swear. For my part, I don't know why I bought the game. I guess all that negative press had the opposite effect on me. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And honestly, I enjoy Tales of the Shire. Not enough to replay it when it's over or recommend it to any but the most diehard Lord of the Rings fans when it finally goes on sale. It did take me a while to get into it, but 7.1 hours and a few save files deep, I'm actually having fun with the slow-paced, meandering, and often directionless gameplay. To put it bluntly, there's a lot this game does wrong, and you can see the sticky fingerprints of corporate cozy all over Bywater, but what it does well, it does exceptionally. I've never seen such an in-depth cooking system in a cozy game before, and the buddy system way of gardening, where you have to plant crops that get along to yield the best harvest, is creative and fun. But there are definitely other indie games that hit the mark Tales of the Shire missed, so let's talk about them. Also, since Tales of the Shire was so expensive, totaling $46.77, I picked games that are lighter on the wallet. This time, I grouped the games by the aspects they offer that Tales of the Shire reached for, but didn't fully grasp. If you felt like Tales of the Shire made a lot of empty promises, no worries. Wylde Flowers fulfills them all and then some. Originally released as an Apple Arcade exclusive that has since made its way onto Steam and Switch, Wylde Flowers definitely looks like a cartoony app designed to give you a serotonin boost between binging episodes of Wednesday. But don't be fooled by the way it looks. This linear narrative farming sim puts the focus on home and hearth, and will be a special treat for players who like their whimsy with a side of witchcraft. You'll play as Tara, a big city journalist who, after her life falls apart, finds herself moving to the sequestered island of Fairhaven to take care of her ailing grandma Hazel. Wylde Flowers is all about finding your footing, choosing your family, and embracing who you really are, while you farm, forage, cook, craft, mine, and fish through your life in Fairhaven. While the NPCs in Tales of the Shire leave much to be desired, your neighbors in Fairhaven are well written and more than happy to chat or direct you to the town's notice board, where you can undertake small tasks for a bit of extra cash. While the cooking system is nowhere near as elaborate as the Shire's, with every single action you take requiring only the lightest of point and clicks, unlocking the recipes for both potions and meals, and looking for the corresponding ingredients takes time and patience. Plus, once you unlock gifting, which I haven't done yet, you can bestow the gift of home-cooked meals upon your friends and neighbors. Speaking as someone who's barely begun filling out my inventory of learned recipes, I'm excited to collect and make each of them, especially the magic ones. Wylde Flowers gives me the same comfy, cozy feelings I get when I boot up Tales of the Shire. I'm just way more interested in the adventure Wylde Flowers is taking me on, as it's a more personal journey of self-discovery than it is deciding whether or not you live in a village. Plus, it's fully voice acted, so it's kind of like watching a mini movie. The only thing it's missing is character customization and hobbit hole decoration, but you can unlock new outfits for Tara as you play. It's also worth noting that romance is an option in this game, and while I don't know if I'm going to bother with that on my first run through, I know a lot of people like and appreciate when romance and marriage are included. Since Wylde Flowers has a set beginning, middle, and end, I'll be sad when the story's over. My one word of caution for this game is to check content warnings. I got spoiled for an unavoidable plot point, and so just making sure you're in the headspace to handle it will go a long way. If you enjoy the slow, meandering, do-as-you-will gameplay Tales of the Shire features, I think you'll adore Cinnabunny, which does the same thing, just better. I've already talked about this cute bunny bakery game where you cultivate all the ingredients you use on your own farm quite a bit, And if you want a more comprehensive look, I'll link my review both up above and down in the description. Apart from playing as a fully customizable rabbit, the best thing about the game is just how involved life in Sugar Creek Burrows is. You can spend your days doing whatever you want, with the loose plot being that you've been sent to Sugar Creek and employed as the town baker, wherein you'll be getting to know your neighbors, baking sweet treats, and trying to earn enough carrots to build a burrow for your family and bring each of them over from your drought-stricken childhood home. But there's absolutely no time limit to do any of these things, and your family can handle themselves until you send for them. In the meantime, you can chat with the other buns around you so often per day that they get annoyed with you. You can prioritize farming, taking quests from the quest board to earn some extra carrots, chasing and catching robots, birdwatching, or even helping to curate a mushroom museum. If you want to do something a little more chill, you can always join a yoga session in the park. And there's even a weekly rabbit rock show with local sensation the Lumineers taking the stage. The emphasis on community and becoming the kind of rabbit you want to be makes the game a joy to play. I personally use it as a palate cleanser between other games, so while it's not the most frequently played cozy game in my library, it's definitely one of my favorites. MakeRoom, the second to last game on the list, is purely for the decorators among us. Usually, I'm not one of them, but MakeRoom was too cute to resist. Initially, I was just going to try it out and then refund it if it wasn't for me. But if you enjoy my dream setup, you'll love MakeRoom. A recent release from the publisher that brought you Menominee Lane. If you haven't played that, you absolutely should. MakeRoom is on my list for the Shire fans whose favorite pastime in Bywater is decorating Old Ruby's hobbit hole and making it their own. In MakeRoom, you're free to design the room you want the way you want, but I'm really having fun with the request prompts, where the game guides you through decorating every space, from a quiet meditation space to a surprisingly cute spy headquarters. Before we get into the last game on the list, I want to talk about a few titles that, while not scratching the exact same itch as Tales of the Shire, are close enough to deserve a mention. First off, we've got Lemon Cake. I know you guys have heard me talk about it a lot. For those of you who don't know, it's a bakery management sim where you as the player are responsible for the day-to-day operations of a bakery, assisted by the former owner and her hate-to-love health inspector boo, who are both ghosts. It's really grindy, and the gameplay loop is laser focused on the bakery. There's no social system, and decor is earned through the skill tree. You can, however, customize your bakery and look after both the crops and farm animals out back, all of which enhance your recipes. Another food-focused game you might enjoy is Magical Bakery, though I recommend this one with caution, as I've only played the demo. It has a linear storyline in that you're a scatterbrained witch, shipped off to a magical bakery to complete your internship, wherein your skills are put to the test quite literally when Ludovar, the grumpy archmage, tells you you have to pass, or the entire bakery will be shut down and its owner, your mentor, will be left with nothing if you can't whip up the required dishes. From what I played, I enjoyed the game loop and the grind was way lighter than Lemon Cake. I enjoyed the graphics and thought the setting was really well done. In the demo at least, you can't swap out your keybinds, but there is a mode in settings that you can enable to make customers more patient, which will give you extra time to complete orders if you do struggle with dexterity. Also, if you want another purely decorating game, my dream setup is a bite-sized indie number that allows you to draw up small room plans and, well, decorate to your heart's content. There are even a handful of expansion packs you can invest in if you're really having a good time. With all that said, it's time to talk about my last recommendation, which may surprise some of you, because you still can't swap out the keybinds, and it's been out for a year. It's okay though, I'll loop trailer footage. Fruit Bus is a sweet, gentle game about savoring the feast of life, even after you're gone. Your grandma has passed on and left you her Fruit Bus, a traveling food truck with which she has requested you hand deliver the invitations to her farewell feast. But it won't be easy as, while she was the best grandma to you, not everyone on the invite list is keen to celebrate her, least of all your own mother, Grandma's daughter, who only remembers the Fruit Bus overshadowing her childhood with bitterness and anger. As you travel around the map handing out invitations, you'll also be learning new recipes, meeting quirky characters, serving customers, and customizing your Fruit Bus. Along the way, your grandma's passenger seat urn will offer the occasional snippet of wisdom. Just like in the Shire, Fruit Bus is all about cherishing the little moments and bringing people together with a good meal. I really do like this weird little game, though I haven't finished it quite yet. I've been enjoying the exploration aspect, wandering and poking around the world. I'm not gonna lie, driving the bus is kind of a nightmare because I do struggle with using the WASD keys, but I knew what I was getting into as there is a demo available. The story hooked me more than the prospect of spending a lot of time trying not to send my fruit bus careening off road, and I still find it charming with a pretty good soundtrack. If you've made it this far, thanks so much. Let me know what you think of Tales of the Shire down in the comments, whether you loved it or hated it, or fall somewhere in between like me. I want to know. Also, if you can recommend any standalone high fantasy novels, drop those down in the comments as well. I'm making a TBR pile for the fall, and I could use something magical. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and leaving a like to see more videos like this one. I hope you got to enjoy Second Breakfast today, and I'll see you next time.